You're so beautiful, so dry those tears. I know it's been hard. Put a smile on your face.
That's okay.
We have John Norman and Sean Norman.
Hello.
I take it your husband and wife.
That's right.
All right.
That's exactly right.
Well, we have a great show planned, and we're going to start with you, John.
Okay.
Tell us, what is your purpose?
Well, I run a company called Z DME. We're a durable medical equipment company. We've been in business for about 3 years now. We recently located here 3 years ago from Houston, Texas. So our background is from Houston, Texas. We serve all of Middle Tennessee. We specialize anywhere from respiratory to mobility devices, nebulizers, wheelchairs, and diabetic supplies.
Motorized wheelchairs as well?
Motorized wheelchairs as well.
And scooters.
And scooters as well.
Wonderful. Okay. That sounds great. And we're going to come back to you, John. Tell us, Sean, give us some information about who you are, and you are, I understand, CEO.
That's right. My name is Sean Norman. I am the CEO and president of Z DME, and today I'm talking about our team and partners with all-in-one community service. Like John stated, Z DME is a durable medical equipment company in which we service patients from power mobility scooters all the way to diabetic supplies to their home. Our team and partners All-in-One Community Service is a company with non-medical services for 18-year-olds with disabilities to 65-year-olds, the elderly. So basically we service patients from A to Z, and we try to be a one-stop shop.
Okay,
Awesome.
so everything. You have all kinds of products and durable medical equipment?
Right.
Wonderful.
Right. Some of our products and services consist of homemaking. It consists of PER, which is Personal Emergency Response Systems. Basically, that is, most patients remember, or most people remember, help, I'm falling and I can't get up, that monitoring device.
Right.
We also have transportation, assisted living, respite, and durable medical equipment, like we stated before.
That is a one-stop shop.
That is.
And it's totally awesome.
Yes.
Okay. I want to go over here to my co-host,
All right.
Tangela.
Yes.
Isn't this exciting?
It's very exciting. I'm wondering if Sean can tell us a little bit about the homemaking.
Yes, would you do that, John? Tell us a little bit about the homemaking.
Well, the homemaking part of, and that falls under the all-in-one services, the community services. And what that consists of, having someone go into the home and seeing what the patient may need. They may need the home to be wheelchair accessible, handicap accessible, any kind of modifications made to the home. Someone will go in and assess those needs and go forward.
Okay, so you do a complete assessment when you go in of the patient and whatever their mobility needs may be, or
Yes.
whatever supplies or products they may need.
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful. Okay. And Sean, how did you get into durable medical supplies and equipment?
Basically, our background dealt with managing and developing different types of sleep labs. And one thing we found is there was a gap between having patients who had sleep lab or would have sleep evals at night, and then once they finished with their sleep therapy, it was sometimes a problem with getting the machines, such as CPAP machines, BiPAP machines. So Z DME partnered up with different companies and realized, there's a gap that we need to bridge, because sometimes patients' care can sometimes suffer from the lack of insufficient times or gaps of time. So we developed Z DME to basically bridge that gap. And so we found there was a need. Not only was there's a need when patients leave the sleep lab and needed the durable medical equipment, but there was also a need for patients to get back and forth to the doctor's office. And that's where all-in-one came apart, because there's the transportation to getting patients back and forth to the doctor's office. Or
Tell us a little bit about that transportation, because there is a great need for transportation. A lot of patients, to my experience, do not get to their doctors.
Exactly.
And, this is quite a need out there for transportation services that are going to be reliable.
Exactly.
And pick up the patients, to take them to their appointments.
Exactly.
And get them back to their homes. And from what I'm hearing with a lot of transportation services out there, they are not getting the job done.
Exactly.
So tell us, what makes you special out there?
Well, all-in-one community service pride ourselves in making sure that all of our patients are picked up as well as taken back home in a timely manner.
Okay.
awesome.
All of our staff, we have an extensive background. They all have the responsibility of getting our patients there, and I think the key to that is accountability. We have a
Exactly.
superior manager and supervisor who makes sure he monitors those services, and not only are we give ourselves at least an hour, hour and a half window for that patient. We don't try to basically schedule 3 or 4 different patients at one time. Instead, we
good.
try to make each patient a priority and an individual.
So then, what is the length of time that maybe you need to give a patient? Do you take appointments?
We do.
Okay.
Typically, we ask at least the patient to give us at least a 3-day notice. However, there's a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Sometimes emergencies may arise where we have to make
So you
types
do
of
work
adjustments.
with
Absolutely.
emergencies?
Well,
Okay.
if an appointment pops up, say for instance there's a dialysis patient who needs immediate attention, or a patient who needs to get to the doctor because they had chest pains the next day. Well, those are extreme circumstances that we try to basically supply our patients with those services. So we find that to be one of those situations that makes us better than the rest.
Okay, well, John, with the transportation service, then how do you bill the patient?
Well, typically, most insurance companies, not all, but most insurance company, there's allowable for the transportation services. However, we do it on if a patient doesn't have insurance, we will do it on a case-by-case basis, on a sliding scale.
That's
awesome.
wonderful. So then no patient gets turned down.
Exactly.
Everyone gets to use your transportation services.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Well,
Wow.
Tangela, that's great, isn't
That
it?
is awesome.
Okay,
That is
well,
awesome.
tell us a little bit more about some of the other services
Yes,
that
I'm
you
interested
provide.
in hearing about the assistance that you provide with the client's daily living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, the assistant daily living consists of one of our staff members, and again, we always have extensive background checks. We live by the motto, we will not put anyone in your home that we wouldn't put in ours. Basically, that particular client, employee will go in and assist the patient with daily hygiene, bathing, feeding, clothing, combing their hair. And to piggyback on the homemaking, that has a lot to do with small chores such as sweeping, doing the laundry, doing the dishes, changing the linen,
So
making
they
sure
do
that our staff.
go the extra mile.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, we try to make sure all of our clients not only have reliable transportation, dependable medical equipment, but also we want to make sure that they are living in a safe environment on a day-to-day basis.
Wonderful. What about your respite?
I'm glad you asked about
yes.
respite. Yes.
Yes.
That is indeed a need. Respite is a service that we provide where we will basically allow the caregiver time away from the home, anywhere from...
Did you say you give the caregiver a break?
Exactly.
Did you hear that, caregivers out there?
Exactly.
You get a break.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
That it. Isn't that awesome?
That's wonderful.
Yes. Well, John, I am just so excited about your company and what you do. Go ahead, finish telling us about that.
Well, with that being said, we found that there is a need, and a lot of times the caregiver is the person that's overlooked. They can't go to their doctor's appointment because they're taking care of their loved one. So
Right.
with respite, we can provide someone to come in to sit with your loved one anywhere from 3 hours to 24 hours a day. So it's one of those situations, and there is a need
Now
for
tell
that.
me, with that type of service, do you extend that services you're outside of the state of Tennessee as we talked about earlier?
Exactly. Well, I'm glad that you asked. All-in-One is serving the Middle Tennessee area. However, it is our goal to